Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. My name is Elvin. I'm the general manager of the Sturgis Trojans in the Saskatchewan Baseball League. It's a fictional league based in Out of the Park 21. I have just been going over my spring training, and I was just going to show you guys, for those of you that are unfamiliar, a little bit about the game, about kind of how it works. This is a good time to really introduce you. But this is just, again, spring training. So I have played most of my spring training games. As you can see here, we have some statistics. And so this is my starting rotation, my pitching. Merlin Roland, we talked about him in the last video. He was my number one pick. He dropped a little bit. So instead of an 8 out of a 9 potential, he is an 8 out of 8. So he is basically maxed out. He still can probably come back to a 9.66, but I kind of doubt he will. Just with the age and everything, and it happens. Scouting reports happen and they get updated. They kind of see how he's doing, but he has had a really good spring, as you can see here. Let me just move myself out of the way here. So this is a game log right here. These are the games. He was a player of the game here. He only threw 4 innings. He allowed 1 walk, 6 Ks, 3 ground balls, 3 fly balls. BF, I'd have to look at that, what that is. And as well, he had 54 pitches. He threw 54 pitches, and he had a game score of 61. He was a player of the game against Weyburn here. Again, it's spring training, but it kind of gives you the generalized idea of what is going to happen in the regular season too. So I have a pitch count on my pitchers in spring training because I don't want them to go long in spring training and blow out their arm before the regular season. Happen way too often. So you've got to really watch your spring training. And so we do have Tim Trousdale. He was my second best pitcher here, and he hasn't really put in a good spring. But it's not always an indicator of how they're going to do. Sometimes they just get unlucky. I mean, this guy's only... they're only throwing 50 pitches, so they're just getting hardly into the game, and then they're getting tossed or pulled really for my bullpen, and my bullpen's looking pretty good here. My closer here, Rolf, he's put up a .47 ERA, 3 saves, 19 innings. He has pitched way too many innings in spring training, so we will probably move him from... Probably should move him from closing so he's not throwing as many games or throwing as many innings anyways. His 13.3 Ks per 9 is off the charts. So again, you can kind of see the generalized idea of how we've been doing in spring training. Here's my lineup. Here's a few statistics that they have been going at as well. Batting statistics, here it is. 24 games started. 24 games they've played. They're going to play a few more games, so if you go up here you can see the rest of the games we have. We won 4-0 today, so again, you just basically hit a button and it simulates a day based on your lineups, how they're set up, who's pitching, etc. You can also play the games manually. There's not really like a batting function where you press a button and the pitcher pitches. It's basically whether or not you want aggressive base stealing, if you want them to steal a bag, if you want them to hit, do a hit and run, or if you want to do a run and hit, or if you things along that nature. So you're basically the manager of the game. You're not really actually using your ability to use the player in that way, but it's just basically setting it up using statistics, using left-handed bat versus a right-handed pitcher, right-handed bat versus a left-handed pitcher. You're warming up players, pitchers in the bullpen when you want them to be pulled, things like that. You can pull your pitcher at any time. You can change players in position, and they basically do it. Do the playing for you. You just do the managing, and you kind of get to make the choice and sit back, and hopefully it pans out. So it's kind of the fun of this game, is it's not really hands-on as much as just trying to make the right call and putting the right player in. So here we are, Chris Melange, our catcher, with great defense. He is showing a great bat in spring training. So wow, he is hitting .339, 4 home runs. He leads the team in home runs, and he's got 13 RBIs. So that's nice to see that he's having a good spring. Hopefully it translates over into the regular season. Again, his ratings just aren't that appealing to me. offensively, but at the same time, I mean, who knows? 26 years old, maybe he can uptick a little bit or have a really good year and hit closer to 300. I mean, that's kind of a wish, but what can you do? I mean, you have a good spring training. Hopefully it just carries over. So Scott Oakes, here's one of the guys that I was excited about. He's playing right field. He came up from AAA in spring training, and he is hitting 347 in spring training. You can just, over here is his average, 347. He's got 3 home runs as well. So his ratings here, 10 contact, 6 power. He doesn't have that much power, but he has his second most home runs in spring training, and that's nice to see. But he also has 25 hits, which you can imagine that's what he's going to be doing with that 10 contact. He's going to be hitting, over 340, and I'm imagining this is right around where his average is going to be. So the eye, though, is again something that's going to be, it's not really a concern, but this is what you get. He's either going to hit the ball, or he's going to hit the ball and get out that way, but he's not going to have many walks. So his on-base percentage is going to be very close to his average. So if you can imagine a player looking at ratings, if you can imagine a player with a 10 contact, 6 power, and say he had an 8 eye, his on-base percentage is going to be closer to 400, if not even higher. And that's why eye is so important, because he's going to draw lots of walks, and he's not only going to use his bat, but he's going to use his eye and his plate discipline to draw walks and get on base. But regardless, Scott is going to have a ton of hits. So, I mean, we need him producing for us to even stand a chance at winning, because, again, like I mentioned before in the last video, we don't have a lot of guys with a lot of power. So, other than that, that's kind of about the breakdown of the spring training. We can't really tell how guys are going to do based on spring training stats. It's nice to get the younger guys in to get them some at-bats and kind of see how they're doing, and maybe they might blow up, and have a really good spring training and make the team. It happens in real life, and it can happen in out of the park as well too. So here's a strategy. So the strategy here, we have a bench coach. He can pick the strategy here with stealing bases, base running, using the hit and run in all these different settings. I can manually adjust these all to different things if I wanted to, for that to overrule what my bench coach has done, but I kind of like to let the bench coach do that. I mean, if I kind of really start to see that we're not winning, I will adjust these differently. I do like to favor the left-handed, right-handed matchups with my pitching. I also like to use infield shifts frequently and play infield in, and not intentional walk. I like to make the players earn it that I'm playing against or pitching against, especially with my rotation that I have. I have really good pitching, so that's kind of it. As well too, in spring training, the draft pool was released. So let's go over a few of the names here, or the few of the ratings that we have. So this is the amateur draft coming up, and we already have a guy here, John Paul Lesage. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but he is from Beauval, Saskatchewan. So he's 22 years old, so he is on the upper end of already being developed. There's not going to be much, he's going to have to be playing right away here to really utilize him. You don't want to have guys that you draft much older than 22, and if they are, they need to be ready like right away. But this guy, he's a 10 contact potential, 6 gap power, 6 home run power, good eye discipline, and avoid Ks. He's going to hit for a high average. He's going to hit home runs. Plus, he plays shortstop too. So, he's, again, better at hitting left-handed pitching just because he's a right-handed bat, but at the same time, it looks like he can hit the, for contact versus right-handed pitching. So definitely somebody I'll keep my eye on. I'm not too sure how the amateur draft works in the first year. I imagine I'm going to have a lower pick in the amateur draft just because I had a higher pick in the inaugural draft to draft my players that I wanted to when we first initially set up this league. I'm guessing that's how it goes. So I'm probably not going to get somebody like Jean Paul. So again, here's another guy, Ben Carroll. Great home run power, low contact, so he's either going to hit it out of the park or he's Probably, going to hit 240, 230, something like that. Not too many hits that way, but he's got a good eye. So his on base percentage is going to be higher than his batting average, or going to add more to his batting average than somebody with a lower eye would anyways. So that's nice to see. Plus, he does have good defensive ratings. So, yeah, so this is just the amateur draft that's going to come up probably in June. I believe we play 162 games in this league, so we're really looking forward to that. So, and here's a pitch or two in the draft. So 767, these ratings as well. So this is just kind of a breakdown. Here's another really interesting shortstop, Cookie. He won't be playing shortstop. Just looking at his defensive ratings, I can tell he's going to be a really good second baseman. So his eye discipline, he's going to walk a lot, and he's going to hit too. High contact, and not very many home runs. But he's definitely going to be somebody that might be around late in the first round. So I might look to nab him up as well. So we will see. So that's a little bit of the draft. So let's go ahead and sim. Let's look at these standings actually first. So we are here in our division. After 26 games, we are, fifth in our division. So I'm not really too worried. We're only 5 games back. It's not like we're, throwing our starters out there every game and really going for it. I mean, it's spring training. I want to get lots of guys kind of in there. Which reminds me, I'm just going to change my closer so he's not burning out his arm just throwing in spring training. So I don't want that at all. So I kind of want to get the guys that are, not as utilized or really as good as my closers, because I don't want them to throw their arm out early. So I might even bring up a few more. So this is kind of how it goes. So right now I'm just bringing up a guy from AAA here, from Ogama White Wings, to my spring training roster, and just putting him in there. So then you just go to pitching, and he'll be, I don't even remember his name, Jollymore, mate. So we will just put him in his middle relief and use more often. So you can kind of use those settings. Again, it's kind of up to the manager, the coach's job to use all these guys, but you can put in their roles what you want them to be. So obviously the better pitchers you want towards the back end of the game, but at the same time, like I said, it's spring training. I don't want them to throw out their arms early on. So let's go ahead and sim. So I'm not going to actually go into the game. Maybe in one video I will do an actual simulation and show you the full game. Here it is. So basically all you do, there's a game today against Milestone. I can play it, or I can just finish today. So that's what I do, is I just finish today. So you see here we won 2-1 versus Milestone. So we can kind of see what went on in this game. So the Saskatchewan Baseball League, Sturgis Trojans at the Milestone Spitfires. Here we are, so you can kind of see the batting, or the line score, the box score. And so this is us, Sturgis, here. So you can see Britton went 1 for 3. Then a pinch hitter came in for him, who played right field and center field. And this is what he did in this game: 2 strikeouts, and he was left on base 3 times. That's not good. He left 3 guys on base. So here you can kind of see how effective everyone was. We were not at all with runners on base. We left 23 guys on base. That is not good. This guy, he left 4 on. Bent. So you can kind of just get the idea. So here's a little bit more of the details of what happened in the game. So the doubles, home runs. So we did hit a home run, and total bases. Which guy's got total bases here? Scott Oakes. And this is our pitching line score. So you can see Ham here. He went 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 3 Ks. He 44 pitches. Nobody gave up a home run, so that's good to see. and the pitching score. So and his ERA would have came down a little bit because he only gave up 1 earned run. And then you can see the game score and just other details too. So game notes. Mike Sturgeon, Joe Bomer were ejected in the 4th inning for igniting a bench-clearing brawl. So this is a time that it took for the game, the ballpark, the weather, things like that. So so that's what you can do. I usually sim in the regular season, depending on, I mean, if it's at the trade deadline or a lot of crucial games where it's tight in the division race or something like that, I will manually sim 1 day at a time just to see how we're doing and if I need to make any adjustments in the line. Things like that. So we simmed ahead again 1 day. You also get like messages. So if there's any trade offers that come in or league news where somebody's lost for a bit, that will come in and you'll get to see it here too. So this is all my news. So there's a lot of things that you can do in this game. This is kind of the overview. And so I'm just going to sim up to the finish of the spring training. Here we are. Oh, see, we have a trade proposal. So the Warman Kangaroos offered me a trade. So let's have a look. So these are kind of the fun things that we can do. We get trade offers, and we also can offer trades. So the Warman Kangaroos would send 23-year-old minor league right-handed pitcher Devin Burry. Let's have a look. Ooh, he's a closing pitcher. 23 years old. He was drafted in round 44. He's not really that appealing to me, so I can't imagine I'm going to probably say yes to anything. In getting 26-year-old minor league right-hand pitcher Gene Leggy back. Gene here, 9 stamina. He's 26 years old. He's a starting pitcher. I mean, his ratings aren't that great, but at the same time, he can eat up some innings if he throws 99 miles an hour. I'm a little surprised that his stuff isn't better than a 6. So it might be interesting, to see, kind of keep an eye on Gene here. I'm not gonna accept that trade. I don't have to do anything with it, really. But Gene here is somebody that could definitely play in the 4th or 5th spot if some injuries came. So you can just reject trade. You can also discuss the trade if you want, but we're just going to reject the trade. So I have no interest in doing that deal. So I just want to see I'm just looking for the preseason predictions. So here we are. I will show you this, and then we're just going to end the video. It's been about 20 minutes, so hopefully you guys get a little bit of a general idea of what is going on. So here is the predicted standings that we have for the game. So every spring after the spring training is over, then the game will kind of spit out this predicted outcome based on players and the ratings and how the team gels. So I'm interested to see where they have us. So we are not looking like we are going to have a very good team this year according to these predicted standings. So the Sturgis Trojans are predicted to 77 wins and 85 losses. So a losing year, 15 games back, not a lot of runs, batting average higher than just about any team. But look at our home runs. Oof. We need some power. We definitely need to trade for some power or even maybe some speed. We're not too bad in the stolen base department here, projected or predicted, whatever you want to call it. But at the same time here, our home runs here are just going to kill us. It's interesting here too that the Carlisle Cardinals, they are their batting averages is 0.010 more than us, and yet their home runs are less than us. Their stolen bases are a little bit more, but yet they're predicted to have a better record than us by 7 games. So that's really interesting. I wonder if that batting average actually makes that much of a difference. I know that they do have a little bit more stolen bases, but Yeah, it's interesting. But here it is. Our pitching obviously is really what is going to stand out. Obviously, we're only going to give up a lot less runs than most other teams in the bottom half of the division, anyways, and even quite close to the Weyburn Flyers here in second. Our ERA is quite low too, below 4, so that's really good for us as well too, and a decent amount of Ks and lower amount of walks than every team in both these divisions here. So our pitching and our control is good, but at the same time we need some more we need some better bats. Let's just put it that way. So here's some of the top hitters in these leagues, in this league. I really got to name these leagues, guys. If you could just write in the comments, what could be a good league name for both these leagues. So there's the American League and the National League and the majors, but maybe we can do something different in this league, so we can customize that. So I'm going to look for some suggestions as well too. I might just throw some names up there that's going to help us out here. Look at these Beach Bums. They're last place. Maybe I can make a deal with the Beach Bums for one of their star players to come help us out and dig us out of the toilet. I hate to waste good pitching in young players, so I don't really want to wait around to try and win. Maybe I'll have to go back and look at my drafting and kind of rethink. Maybe I did it wrong. So let's see here. Top hitters predicted in the league. We don't have anybody in the batting at all too, so it's look at this power though. This guy is predicted for 61 home runs and 124 RBIs. He's only going to hit 200 though, so who's this guy? Oh yeah, look at this. So he's got 4 contact and 9 power and 7 eye, so he's got a good eye, good power. If he hits the ball, it's going to probably get out of the park. So I guess maybe we need a 4 contact 9 power guy. Wow, that's crazy, but I guess, that's what brings in a lot of the runs, right? Those home runs. Here's another guy, 51 home runs. Again, he's 4 contact and a lot of power. So I have nobody at all in the top hitters here. Top pitchers, we don't have anybody in the top pitchers as well. So could be interesting. We might have to. Might really have to show these guys what our team can do. I believe my pitcher here that I got, my Merlin. I think he's going to be up there for Cy Young. So here it is, the other league that are here. Just kind of going to give the overview. 743 runs. The Strasbourg Superstars, 778 runs. Wow, they're predicted for that. Looks like it's just about the most in the league, except for Battleford. So it's going to be some good teams, it looks like. And the pitching wise as well, let's have a look here. Woolridge, Jeff Woolridge here is predicted to be under 3 ERA, as well as keeping in Kamsack there. And yeah, that's about all we have as well. So guys, I am really looking forward to getting into this season. I'm going to be interested to see if I'm hoping these predictions are not right, but again, we're going to have to prove some naysayers wrong. Maybe we'll have to write an article for the league as well too. So all right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. 23 minutes. Thanks so much. Hit the subscribe button and look forward to more videos with the Sturgis Trojans in the Saskatchewan Baseball League on Out of the Park 21.